Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Um here we are with the second upload. I'm going to explain to you in a minute why I'm laughing, actually right now. So today's topic is going to be about struggling with consistency. And the reason why I chuckled was because I told myself when I uploaded the first video that I'm going to be doing this every day. This is going to be my way of just decompressing my mind, etc., etc. I gave myself all those reasons, but I didn't do it. And I know that me thinking about doing this was for my benefit. I get to organize my thoughts. I get to listen to what's happening in my head, etc., etc. But still, I didn't do it, even though I knew, or I have an idea of what good it would do me if I was to do this every day, right? But I didn't do it, which brings us to today's topic, struggling with consistency, because I know I have struggled with consistency for the longest time, maybe even in my childhood, because I remember my mom describing me as one person who's very jumpy. I move on to the next thing as soon as I get bored with one thing. And I'm sure most of us can relate, if not all of us. There's some areas in our life where we're inconsistent, and unfortunately, I am consistent, I think, in all areas of my life. So that's what I have been thinking about this past week. Why is it that I struggle with consistency in everything that I do? And I've been thinking about it. You know, most of us have this idea that we need to be motivated to do something. And motivation can only take you so far. For instance, let me explain. Let me go into detail, right? So, I'm skinny, which I am actually, and I want to gain weight. I want to gain muscle, right? So I decide, okay, I'm going to start strength training in the gym. That's my motivation. I want to gain muscle. I want to be something else, right? I want to do something. So that's my motivation. And I start going to the gym. Maybe I miss a couple of days, but that's not what I'm talking. In this example, that's not the consistency I'm talking about. I'll give that consistency later. So let's say I get to my desired goal, right? I get to my desired goal, and then I start slacking. I stop going to the gym because I feel good. I'm looking good. I'm where I wanted to be. And that's because my motivation has been achieved, right? My motivation has been achieved. And most of us end there. Because most of us lack what it takes to maintain it or get better, which is discipline. And that's one example. And so discipline is something that drives you after motivation gets you to a certain point. Motivation is basically whatever reason you have given to start something. That is your motivation, right? And discipline comes after motivation. It's what's going to get you beyond that little high peak you've reached. Discipline is what is required. And that's like an example where you get to your goal and then you've got nothing to drive you over your goal, right? And here is another example. This is another one big thing I struggle with. Inconsistency in starting and doing and getting to where I want to be. That's another inconsistency. That's another place I struggle. So for instance, my mind is in a bad mental state. I've not been feeling good. My emotions are all over the place. I do not feel grounded, or I'm overthinking about things. And then I decide to journal, which is my motivation. I decide to journal because I'm not in a good place. I'm not thinking well, right? I decide to journal. And the first day goes good. I sit down, I write whatever is in my mind, whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm grateful for. I write it. It's done. But I find myself so many times not continuing what I have started, even though I know that it's good for me. And I've been thinking why that is, because then I sit there after 2 weeks of feeling like shit, even though I know that there's an option of journaling that can get me out of my kink. And I sit there for 2 weeks and then I end up feeling worse than I did, because now I know what I need to do, but I'm not doing it. I find myself in that place a lot of times. And I've been thinking, but why does that happen to me a lot? And I mean in every area of my life. Name it, trust me, I'm there. I'll tell myself I want to start a drawing challenge for 30 days, and I'll do it for the first 2, and after that I'll just put it aside. When I know that I wanted to increase my creativity, or I just wanted to rest my mind or meditate my mind while I do my art, that was my motivation. But my motivation is not strong enough to get me through the challenge. And I'm realizing this week that discipline not only needs you to get you over that high peak that you've reached, it is required from the beginning. You need to cultivate that discipline. And most of us struggle with discipline because, especially in areas where we don't have to answer to someone. Why? Because it's us, right? Like what? Are we going to punish ourselves? And we don't see this when we're younger a lot. Why? Because we've got our parents to get scared of. We're scared of getting scolded by our parents. We're scared of getting scolded by our teachers. There's a consequence if you don't do stuff. And in areas where there's consequences if you don't do stuff, you'll find that you actually get the job done, right? And I've noticed when it comes to me, because I know I can talk myself out of feeling bad for not doing something that I told myself I should do, I end up not being consistent with that activity, whatever it may be. So yeah, discipline is a very important thing. It does not need a positive thing. It does not need a negative thing to drive it. You just need to be disciplined. If you're going to say, I'm going to do this, do it. Don't make up excuses. Don't make up stories in your brain for the reasons why you're not doing it. Just do it. Just do it, like Nike says. So yeah, if you struggle with consistency, you need to work on your discipline. You need to sit down with yourself and have that hard talk, which I am doing now, with yourself, and just be honest. Just be blunt with yourself. It's important to be blunt and honest with ourselves sometimes. If you're lazy, you're lazy. Tell yourself you're lazy and get up and do it. And take it one day at a time. Take it one day at a time. Like, okay, set the goal for the 30 days challenge, but don't think I need to get this 30 days done. Don't do that to yourself, because now you're just self-sabotaging. Take it one day at a time. Wake up in the morning. If you plan that you're going to be doing gym in the morning, don't think about it the night before. Don't think about it 1 week before. Just wake up in the morning and get it done. Just get out of bed and get it done. Like, why is it so difficult? Why is it so difficult? Oh, that's the whole point of this video. You lack discipline. Rather, we lack discipline. So yeah, I hope that just gives you some insight or changes your perspective on how to be consistent. And I hope you start getting consistent by just doing whatever it is you set your mind to. Right? The consequences of just being inconsistent in everything we want to do for ourselves is we get to have a suckish life, anxiety, depression, sadness, all those things, when you can be disciplined in your daily routine, when you can be disciplined in your night routine, which is daily routine, when you can be disciplined in your journaling, when you can be disciplined in your exercise, when you can be disciplined in your meditation and your music and your, it just cuts down a lot of stress. disciplined in your medication as well. Some of us have got diseases but don't give a shit to drink the medication on time. We miss 3, 4, 5 days. Why? Because we don't feel the consequences there and then. But we know that these things, they stay and then they keep growing, and then just one day they bubble over and you can't take things back. You can't unwind the clock. So yeah, let's be disciplined, people. Let's be disciplined. That is the only way we will overcome the struggle with consistency. And I'm going to be signing out now. And yeah, you guys can hold me accountable for not posting if I don't post, because from now on, I'm going to be doing it. Yeah. Thanks for listening, and I hope you had a lovely day, and I hope you have a lovely night. Or I hope you had a lovely night, and I'm hoping you have a lovelier day. Till next time, love and light.